Hey YouTube. So I'm going to do a video on some of my watches. I have quite a few watches that I've collected over the years. And these are mostly my divers. Well, these are all my divers really. And then I think I have a few more here and there. But this is most of them. And they're going to be mostly Seikos. I've also collected Borealis and some Orients, and then there's a couple of deep blues and maybe one or two other. Prometheus, I think it's called Prometheus. That's kind of an outlier that's here. So let's get started. And I haven't done any homework recently, and I don't really actively collect anymore, so I won't have all the information about these watches that and the model numbers and stuff like that. But you know, it's easy, you guys, it's easy to look up that stuff. You know, if you want to get more information, or you could contact me or something like that by leaving a comment, and I can give you more information. But I think most of you've seen these on YouTube before. So getting started, I think I'll just, should I move this to the side? I'll just leave it here. So starting with this one. This is the Seiko Sumo, and I think this has the 6R15 movement in it, and I think they have a new release now, and I think they have another version out. But this is the original. This is, I mean, to me, this is like, I've seen a picture of the re-release of it, and I think that this is the most attractive watch. And I don't know if the new release has a 6R15, but this one does with the larger power reserve. I think it's 50 hours versus 40. It's got applied indices. The hands are, I don't know if you call those pencil hands. It's got plenty of lume. The bezel, I don't believe is ceramic. I think it's probably could be aluminum or something like that, but very nice smooth bezel action. I mean, just 120 click, and you know, it lines up perfectly, which is unusual for Seiko. You know, I got lucky with this one. Screw down crown, signed crown. Let's see if we can get it to start ticking. There's your movement. It's just a beautiful watch. I mean, it's got a few scratches in it. I've worn it a handful of times. It doesn't, the one thing about it is, and for me it's not a big issue because I'm not rough with my watches and I don't dive, but it doesn't have a protector for the crown. Whereas, you know, a lot of the Seikos do, especially the Turtles and whatnot, the old SKXs and whatnot. This one doesn't, but it is a nice look like this. I do like this look, and I like that it's at 4 o'clock. Yeah, the dial itself has a flat matte blue finish, and the bezel, like I said, I don't think it's ceramic. I believe this is probably, I think this is sapphire. On some of their watches they do, especially their higher end ones, they do use sapphire, and this is one of their higher end divers. This is just an exceptional watch. It's so comfortable on your wrist. And you know, I have a whole bunch of different straps I can put on it for all these, actually for all these I have straps for days. I have enough straps to put on 700 watches, maybe more. I got carried away with those. So there's that. And then right next to that is some of my favorites. I don't like the Pepsi so much. This is the blue and the red on the bezel. I don't like that color scheme. I'm not a big fan of it, but I do like this watch. And this one lines up pretty well as well. The crown's at 4 o'clock. This, I like when they drill through so you can change the straps, get the spring clamps out, the spring clips out easily with a tool. This is a great watch too. It sits really. I'm a big fan of the turtles, like I said, because they're just so comfortable, and I like that. I like this look, which is this. I like the back of a turtle shell, and that's what the whole. That's hence the name turtle. I think this is I really like this strap on it, and this is the Patty version, which has something to do with accreditation. I say that wrong. You know, it's like it's some type of, it passed some type of stringent test or something for divers. I don't remember what that is. I knew it one time, but you know, knowing what the word means, that doesn't mean I know the whole process anyway, because I'm not a diver. Now here's my favorite turtle, but this is the black and gold look, and you can see gold, you know, on the indicators and stuff. To me, this is just one of the most attractive turtles that they make. This is really one of my favorite. I had this on black leather before and kind of wore it out. This one's a little bit misaligned, but on black leather, this really pops. I know shouldn't have leather on a diver, but you know, who's diving, right? I mean, I'm not. I mean, some people do, but I don't. So if I was to take this swimming or something, obviously I wouldn't have the leather on it. But I have it on this green strap right now, nylon strap, and it just it looks fantastic on this as well. Yeah, it's beautiful. I think that's my only turtles. You know, I've sold so many over the years too. I may have owned more, and they're gone now. So, in getting to this, I believe this is the ice blue or something like that. Monster, one of the newer ones. You can still get these. This is a beautiful. I love blue dials. And this one is, you know, no exception. This lines up pretty well too. 200 meter water resistance. It's got the Cyclops, which is very rare for Seiko to put that on there. Some people like it, some don't. I like it because, you know, if you're going to have a day date, the only way it's going to be useful is if you can magnify it, as far as I'm concerned. Monsters are love it or hate it, you know. There's just no in between on it. Interesting design. Kind of a shocking design when they first came out many years ago, but it's usually defined by this type of bowl-shaped bezel, and then the shark teeth usually on. Where's a better example? Here's another monster. And that's more of an example of the shark teeth. So this is more in line with the traditional monsters. But you can see the similarities between them. Fairly large diameter across. This is, I don't know if this is the vampire or Dracula one, I can't remember. And then I think I have another. Do I have another monster? I have that and I have that. I think I sold my other ones. If you see them in the video, yeah, I have some that look like it, but they're not. They're not it. Like this one. This is a Seiko 5, but it somewhat resembles a monster with this design here. This is a heavy watch. Partly because it still has the original. Most of these came with bracelets. Like this one, I kept the bracelet. But on all of them, on virtually, except for this and this, where you see a bracelet, obviously this is going to be the original. I don't change them around. But all the ones with the nylon straps they came with bracelets almost exclusively, and I took them off and I put them away in the case that they came in, or the box that they came in, and then I put on these straps because I like to play around with different colors and whatnot. And then getting into another one is, believe it or not, these here have gone way up in value. I think I bought this for 200 to maybe less than 200. And then I looked recently, and they're like $600, $700, $800. It's just, I can't believe it. I mean, it's not worth that. I guess it's availability, you know. And I kind of like this sometimes, and then other times I don't. For a while I was wearing it and I was like, oh, this is so cool. But then I look at it sometimes and I'm like, do I really want to put it on? I mean, it is cool. It's got the blue thing going on, which I like. I think this is called the Ice Monster, Ice something, whatever. It's not a true monster though, but it's a good watch. You know, the Seiko 5 with the 100 meter water resistance, and it doesn't have a screw down crown. You could go swimming with these things, and I have. They're just, the ones with the screw down crown, believe it or not, if you don't have that crown screwed down, odds are it's going to leak if you go in the water. But if you have one that doesn't have the screw down crown, you might at first think, oh, it's inferior, and it is if you go really deep. But who's going to be going really deep? These are designed to be water resistant to 100 meters without being a screw down crown. The other ones with the screw down crowns, they're really not. They don't engage that rubber O-ring until you screw them down. So in a sense, and believe it or not, I put my watches away before, and thinking everything was fine. I wound it or what I did, messed around with it, and then said, oh, thought I screwed it back down. And then later on, I come to get it, pick it up again, and lo and behold, I forgot to screw it down. And if you do that, and I've worn them like that, but if you go swimming with them, there's a good chance you're going to get water in them. So the screw down crown is, I don't know if it's really a better feature. And in a sense, you got to back it off, pop it out. It's cool because it's a feature with the watch and everything, but these are more convenient without, sure, it doesn't have that, it's heavy duty, it goes down deeper, but you're not going to go 100 meters. That's over 300 feet. So you're not going to go anywhere near that. And then 200, what is that, 700 feet or something? Come on. I mean, you might go down that far, but you ain't coming back up. Okay, so getting into this one is another Seiko 5. And I really like this blue. This is a beautiful watch. I had this version in a real monster. There's one that's very similar to this, and it's with the 4 o'clock crown, and it's screwed down, and it's an actual true monster. I sold that one, and now I can't believe what it's going for. Oh my God, it's going for, I sold it a few years ago for, I don't know, less than 400, just a little bit less than $400. And I think I bought it for $225. I looked the other day, for some reason it popped up, and it was like $700 or $800. These monsters, what a great investment they would have been if you had bought 50 of them. I don't know about this one because, they might still make this, but the monsters are limited. They make so many and then they move on and they change the design. Some of these other ones, I think you can get them year after year. You'd have to look and see. Now, these are like 50 fathoms, or I think it's 55 fathoms or something, a famous watch. And these are, this is Borealis. I'm just kind of going from one to, I'm not going in any particular order here. I really like this. This is the original one that I first bought. And I had the radium loom. It's not real radium because turns out radium is so radioactive that it can cause cancer if you wear it all the time, apparently. But it has the radium look. That old radium loom look to it. And I think the original radium was just radioactive. That's why That's why you can see it at night. Probably your wrist would start glowing as well. But you know, this is a very attractive watch. It's got a ceramic bezel. It's the clicking action is just mesmerizing. You just want to keep turning it. Screw down crown, 3 o'clock position. It does have a date window there. The case looks to be the same. This just looks to be hanging down more. I think the case thickness is the same. I don't know. Maybe this. Maybe. Yeah, it is. This one's a little bit deeper. You know, and if it's got this, I don't know if it has the same movement, but if it does, why would it be? Why would it be thicker? It must have a different movement. So, because this is the second iteration. This is a new release. Well, it's not new now, but what, year and a half ago, 2 years ago. And I think you could still find these. These are going to be harder to find. They're going to be more expensive. It's the original release from Borealis. But I really like this black and white. This is considerably heavier, but then again, it's got the bracelet on there. They're both gorgeous. Sapphire crystal, 2 gorgeous watches. I mean, really identical to each other. Did I need 2? No. The lume on here is almost non-existent. I mean, it does have lume, but it's not very good. But the lume on here is pretty impressive, and it's even the lume. It even looms up on the bezel. This one, I believe it's the dial that looms up on this one. If I'm not, yeah, the whole dial does. The whole white or cream colored dial. And then the original, I think this is a 007 SKX, which, you know, is infamous for Seiko, with the 7S26 movement, I believe, which is just a shake it and go automatic. Mineral crystal, diver 200, fairly small, maybe 41, something like that, 41 or 42, a little smaller than like the turtles and whatnot. These are iconic watches. They're really, I mean, if you own one, they're not heavy. The cases are, you know, they're fairly petite. They're not too thick. They got a basic movement in them, and non-hacking. You know, I wish you could wind them, but you can't. That's the biggest drawback for me. Are they a diver's first choice? No, but they're cool watches, and they're an iconic watch. There's no denying it. I have it in yellow. They came out with colored dials for a number of years, and you know, they were just so popular. There was, with the advent of YouTube and some of the people showing them on YouTube, I'm sure they're one of Seiko's biggest sellers. And here it is in orange with gold. Another just beautiful. I was going to get the blue one, but I decided, you know, enough's enough. I mean, I've worn the yellow a number of times. I've wore this a few times. I really haven't worn this. I don't really wear orange watches very much at all, but I'm glad I have it. You know, if you're collecting, this is this might be my favorite. Well, you know, I really like Borealis. I got to tell you. I mean, if you've had them, you know what I'm talking about. This is the bull shark in the original one. They have another one released. They have a new bull shark, a newer one that you could still get some. I think there's still 1 or 2 styles of the bull shark color schemes available from their website. The new bull sharks look much like this, which is the let me get the thing out of the way. Portus Cal. This watch here, which is, you know, obviously another Borealis, and you know, nice clasp, nice fairly nice bracelet, not too thick. screw net with the screws, the mermaid on the back, you know, typical of Borealis. So this one here, 120 clicks. Borealis makes very good watches, good movements in them. This is probably my favorite Borealis, and this is the original Bull Shark, which, you know, is not a bad watch. It's just, you know, like a lot of other watches, but this one stands alone. I mean, look at the crystal, how it's raised, the coin bezel, ceramic insert, a little bit easy to, and maybe a little bit too easy to turn. Maybe not. The red triangle on top with the dot, these loom up, and AR coating, but you can see what the color does to it. You know, it says it's AR coating. I believe in when I bought it, but you know, looking at it here, I'm seeing a reflection. I'm seeing the light overhead. It doesn't seem to be AR coating, which is fine because it's just gorgeous, the reflection. But I believe it advertised as AR coating, and you know, when you have the anti-reflective coating, it's really shouldn't be like a mirror, and it's what it's doing right now. So I don't know, but I still like it. I just love this watch. Give it a shake, it'll probably start going. There it goes. Great loom. It's not really heavy. It's not too thick. It's got a helium release valve. So if you're ever down by the Titanic, you know, it'll release, you know, and you come back up, it'll release the helium that has gotten into the watch. You might not be in good shape, but you know, just the polishing and the brushing, you know, it's the polishing is just right on the edge here, and then the rest it's brushed. I mean, it's just a gorgeous watch. The fit and finish. I love this strap I put on it. I can't remember the brand name, but it's nice. It's like a suede, but it's thick. It's got the stitching. 200 millimeters. Just you know how some watches just do it for you. This is one of them for me. This is just, I mean, I'll never part with that watch. Never. Every time I look at it, I'm so glad that I have it. Now, would I buy the new version? No, no way. I mean, I got this, and I don't even really wear this. You know, this is something I would probably gift to somebody. This is a quality watch. It reminds me of this watch, which is the other Borealis, called this watch here, the Portis Cal. Like I said, I would gift this to somebody, or I could sell this watch, and boy, it's got a nice bezel. I would sell this watch. I'm not attached to it. It kind of reminds me of this one, which is the Cascas. I hope I'm saying that right. But this one, this is the first iteration of it. They've come out with another version 2, whatever. But I'm glad on these Borealises I have all the original versions. I think the original versions on them, pretty much all of them have been superior to their re-releases. This one I really like. First of all, I like this color right here. I like the white. These came out in really great color schemes. And at first I was lukewarm to this, and when I bought it, I think originally I wanted the blue one. I think it was the blue one. It was a different colored one that I wanted. They were out of them. They sold out quickly. So there was only a couple of color options left. And so I picked this one, but you know, I'm really glad I did. because once I got it, I realized, like, you know what, this is really attractive. And I don't have a lot of watches that, any watches that really resemble this color scheme at all. Great lume. So I'm glad I got this one. I'm very pleased because, you know, I got, look how many blue ones I have. So these are similar, and then I told you the new bull shark looks like this one in a way. So yeah, would I part with that? Yeah. Plus it's so heavy. This one is more delicate. It's not this thick. It's lightweight. 300 meters. Same as that one. But this is a great watch. You know, I have, and then look at it, another Borealis. This one looked really good when I ordered it, of the color. I'm like, wow, that blue pops. And then I got it, and I'm like, ew. I mean, I don't know what to compare this blue to. It just doesn't look natural at all. It's just so, you know, I don't know, you know, it's just, it's not bad. It just doesn't really do it for me. The watch itself is not too thick. It's thin, very thin. As a matter of fact, look at the thinness of that watch. So, and especially if you weren't wearing it with this type of band, which is, you know, two thicknesses here. If you just put them, I'm sure it came with a stainless steel strap or a bracelet. You know, it's got a raised bezel, or it's got a raised crystal. I mean, it's a good watch. It's just the blue is a little bit much for me. This is another one I would probably let go. Yeah, so I don't know. I should like it. I should like it. It's got everything going for it that I should. I think it's just the color. I think it's just the color. And the fact that the dial doesn't have much, the indices and stuff, they just look bland. You know, as opposed to like, you know, like that. see what I mean? But you know, it is what it is. I mean, so Borealis does come with very nice bracelets. This is like a Jubilee, I think it is, similar to that. Here's another watch. Now this is thick, heavy duty. I like this one quite a bit, but I don't really wear it because it's just so thick. This one's tough to turn. All these watches are like pretty much like new shape, new condition, because, you know, you have when you've bought over 140, 150 watches, you're not going to wear them all. You only wear a few, right? I mean, I wore this once or twice. I don't even see a scratch yet. Good watch. But again, you know, too much of what, I mean, it's just, how deep can we go with this one? 1,000 feet, which is what, 300 meters. And then, you know, I wasn't going to bring all these over, but here's another one. I've got more than these even. This one's kind of cool. You know, I wanted a green watch, and so I got this one, in green and gold. It's got an interesting dial. This is something, and it's not too thick. This is something and it's, you know, it's got the bracelet's really nice and lays relatively flat. The bracelet is pinned. It's not. No, it's got screws. I'm sorry. I'm stand corrected. So, if I was getting dressed up and I was wearing something that's color coordinated towards green, this watch would fit the bill. Even though it's a dive watch, I think this watch you could wear this watch as a dress watch, in my opinion. It's not too bulky. It's not too thick. It's got a signed crown. Uh, the numbering's very small. The letter right here, the numbers are not overbearing on the bezel. It's got a delicate small bezel. This is the type of and the indices are small. Slender hands. You could definitely wear this with, you know, at a wedding party or out to dinner or some event. Also, you know, you could bash around with it, you know, if you wanted to. I haven't, obviously. I don't see any scratches on it. This watch I probably would keep. Because like I said, it's, you know, it's got the green going on. So getting back to this one. Let me put this away. That one, yeah, that one could go. So where are we? You know, covered this, covered that. Oh, I want to show you this one. This is probably, I think this might be the first one or the second one. It might be the first one. The deep blue. And you probably heard of it. They used to, when I started buying these years ago, they weren't very expensive, but the last time I checked, the prices had gone up on these. And you know, rightly so, they're really good quality watches. I used to think when I first saw them that they're cheap, but then I bought this one. They're not cheap. The only thing I didn't like, I liked everything about this one. A lot of their cases are like kind of bulbous, and I don't like them, and have a matte finish. But this case I like, except for one thing. It's just so damn thick. 300 meter water resistance. The beautiful gray, dark gray, variegated dial that the light plays off of it. The raised indices with silver circles around them. Great lume. 120 click bezel. Unlike Seiko, everything lines up. Protected crown, screw down. This one is 845 out of 5,000. You know, I don't see this style. I think they made these for a while, and that was it. And I'm really glad I got a hold of one of these. I would never let this one go. This is just a fantastic watch. Like I said, the only thing that is a negative for me in this watch is it's so tall, but it's got that heavy duty, you know, just tool type look to it. You could do anything with it. It's got the helium release valve with, you know, which is just a novelty as far as I'm concerned. Sign crown. Just a fantastic watch. The color, the dial, you know, how the light plays off of it. Sapphire crystal. Fantastic watch. And then another deep blue. And like I said, this is like, see the, I'm not a big fan of these cases. And a lot of their cases are just like this. But in this particular watch, I just wanted a baby blue watch. That's what I wanted. So I got this one. And I think this is a helium release valve. Yeah. You know, really, why? It's just, screw down crown. I like the baby blue dial. Listen to that. It's pretty cool. Give it a few shakes, like rotor's turning, and there she goes. This is 300 meters, 1,000 feet. Thick, again. All deep blue watches are just thick cases. But this looks good on my wrist. This is the color. It's that baby blue. I'm just a sucker for it. So, with the black bezel, I don't know if the bezel is ceramic or not, but yeah, great watch. And then another Seiko, which I forget what this one is, but this one, this is, you know, heavy duty. Oh, this is another turtle. So I do have another one, two. I have what, three of them? Yeah. I mean, it's turtle case. Yeah, it's a turtle. Sure is. It's got the thing there at 9 o'clock. Yeah. With the ocean wave thing going on. This might be the Save the Ocean one. I'm not positive. It could be. It's a special edition, I believe. Let's see what it says on the back. Does it say Save the Ocean? No. Japan Air Diver. Oh, special edition. With the 4-hour movement. This watch in the sun, it just pops. I got it on. This might be this is the strap that came with it. You know, the rubber strap, very comfortable. Sign clasp and everything. And the crown is black, kind of a muted grayish black, which is unusual. But you know, got that beautiful, beautiful case, sides like rounded. Love that watch. I probably would hold on to that one. A Prometheus. I don't know. Oh, this watch weighs 4,000 pounds. Oh my God! Look at this, like a tank. It shows a ship on the back. Launched 1979 in Sweden, and then it sank in 1980. But I guarantee that, you know, whatever you put this watch on might sink as well. This thing weighs this thing is, wow. If you put this on your wrist, you could actually work out. It's got a crazy dial. The dial looks like, honestly, is the dial a picture of a ship? I don't know. You know, it's Zenobia Professional 500 meters. 500. It shows a diver next to it. You're gonna go down 5. What is that? Is that 1,800 feet? I don't think so. Ooh, a nice screw down crown, smooth. The bezel is, boy, you're not gonna accidentally move that bezel. No way. You're not gonna knock it against something and it's gonna move a click or two. That ain't moving. A little bit of back play. Interesting watch. Would I get rid of this watch or sell this watch? Yeah. It's scratched right there. They scratch right away. These things scratch right away. I would sell this watch. Got to be somebody fairly strong. It weighs. Look at this thing. And I don't think it was very cheap. I think it was an expensive watch. Let's see what else I have. The Orients. They made these for a while. I wish I would have got more of these. They had like 7 or 8 different styles, I believe. The one I wanted to get had this orange dial, but the dial itself was orange. I tried to get one, and it was just way too expensive. I was too late. I didn't get on board quick enough. I was able to get these. This one and the green one. I was able to snag these before the price went through the roof on them. These are automatics. You have to just shake them. You can't wind them. They're fantastic watches. Let me get around. Oh, I love the bezel action on this. Decent lume. It's, you know, Orient. I think if I had to choose one, this one turns really easy, too easy. The orange is my favorite. They're both beautiful, but The orange is iridescent. I would go with the orange. It's a large watch, but I have, look, my wrists are just over 8 inches, so that doesn't matter. Massive, wide. That looks like 20, at least 22. Maybe 24. Huge width on the strap on the bracelet. But still, beautiful looking bezel. Just probably a mineral crystal. Just a gorgeous watch. I also have it, I didn't realize it, I have another iteration of it, so I do have 3 of them. Here's the blue one. I didn't know I had 3, I forgot. Are the hands the same? Yeah. So I have it in blue. This bezel's a little bit better, a little more resistance, you know. Deep blue, let's give it a shine. Out in the sun, I'm sure that would pop. Yeah. I've worn this a number of times because the strap looks a little dirty. That is a good looking watch. This would be good out in the bright sun. But I think, again, the orange with the cream dial, kind of a cream dial. Well, a white dial, I would say. That's my favorite. And I keep lying to you because look at, I have 4 of them. Here's another one. I guess the only one I didn't get was the orange dial one. Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, this one, the whole dial is loomed, not the indices. Maybe the indices as well. Let's see. No, just the dial itself is loomed. Yeah, it has a greenish loom. Supernova, I guess. That in the hands. You know, it's funny because the hands are loomed, but the hands are loomed with the same color as the dial. So you lose the hands when when in the dark because they're the same color as the dial. And you know, that's kind of weird. Why would they do that, you know? I don't know why, but they did. So yeah, you completely lose the hands when at night. You see a bright dial because it's just, you know, so much loom, but the hands go away. They should not loom the hands. They should have made the hands dark, black or something, and then you would have had the contrast and you would have been able to see them. That would have been cool. But yeah, this is an interesting watch. The cream dial and with this green strap and the black bezel. Very attractive watch. I've worn this a handful of times. You know, I forget I have these things, honestly. So I think that's all of them. Well, except for this. And this is just a 200-meter screw-down crown. I believe this one winds. Yep. This one hacking, winding. So it's, you can see the second hand is moving. And when is this broken? I think it's broken. Or it's not out all the way. Oh, it wasn't out all the way. Wow. Okay. You know what? This watch might be broken. I can't pull it out. I think this watch is broken. Yeah. Oh, there it goes. Well, that's weird. You know, probably because I don't... Oh, it just was kind of stuck here. There you go. Yeah, see, hacking. A little bit smaller. I need to take these watches out and just move them around. Deep blue, like kind of like this one. A little lighter, smaller diameter. not too thick. This is a great watch. You know, standard Orient bracelet, but this is actually a pretty cool watch. Flat blue bezel. You know, fairly small, kind of petite in a sense. You could wear this watch as a dress watch. Good. It's a good watch. But like I said, you know, when you have this many watches, I mean, it's just crazy. And then I have a million straps. I have more watches here. Here's another deep blue in yellow with all the fancy colors. It's like a kaleidoscope of coloring. I used to have one in blue that was like that too, with blue, red, all this other stuff. I sold that one. This one I kept. It's got the ocean waves. Did I show you this one? This is another Seiko 5. And that's about it. I mean, well, that's not it. There's a million more. But I'm going to stop the video. I hope you enjoyed it. These are just some of my watches. And I'll probably do another video on my dress watches, you know, sometime in the future, and show you some of those. I have some interesting ones. Some of my really high-end ones that were limited edition. I did get rid of those some years ago. I sold a lot of the special edition ones that, you know, I was kind of short on cash and I had to get rid of some stuff. But, and I regret it, but you know, you got to do what you got to do. Anyway, thanks for tuning in, and I'll catch you on the next one. Okay, bye.